Alright, welcome in. I'm the Kodiak. It is time for us to talk some Drake May out of North Carolina. But before I get into this, leave a like if you enjoy and subscribe if you are not already. As I always say, you can wait until the end and hopefully I will have earned it. But yeah, let's get right into this. So let's get into what a lot of people like about Drake May. First things first, this guy is an absolute specimen. He'll make any throw. He makes great throws. He can throw standing like a statue. He can throw off balance. And even without having a lot of help from his O-line at UNC, he still made some phenomenal plays. He's a very gifted passer. He was PFF's leader in big-time throws by a large margin from any prospect over the past few years and was their highest graded quarterback when targeting the middle of the field. If there's one trait that NFL front offices are going to want to correct in their eval process, it's working the middle of the field. So many incredible tight window throws show up when you're watching him. Last but not least, May is an NFL-ready QB with his athleticism. Much like Caleb Williams, who I broke down recently on this channel, and Jaden Daniels, who I will break down probably at some later date, all three have a talent to use their wheels as weapons. But if there's one thing I love watching what college players do, it's take on contact when running the football and the ability to break tackles in the open field. May not only can blaze past anyone with his wheels, but he'll punish you for making a bad tackle on him. He has a legit rushing profile to fall back on. My comp for him is Daniel Jones, and that's not meant to be an insult. That's only based on play style, not ability. But yeah, just watch him drop dimes with defenders all over his face. It's remarkably impressive. Drake May's production is absolutely absurd, and I'm not one for looking at the box score to evaluate guys, but this is so impressive that we can't ignore it. Nearly 9,000 yards of offense generated by himself over the past 2 seasons. The tools are great, the athleticism is great, the arm is NFL ready. But what's the catch? Well, the problem is that he has an incredibly low floor, and for where he is being mocked right now, which is currently in the top 3 picks in this year's draft, anywhere to the Bears, to the Commanders, to the Patriots, uh, there could be a chance, a very real chance, that an NFL team is not ready to use him as their guy, to use him as their quarterback in the future. There is a lot of maddening inconsistency that shows up when you watch Drake May. I'll point out a couple of examples. So this is just a play-by-play example. Keep an eye on Tez Walker at the very top of the screen on the outside. This is 3rd and 9, only about 43 seconds into the entire game against NC State. This whole concept was really poorly executed by the whole offense. I can't even tell what's going on here. I don't know what the concept is. The bottom outside receiver doesn't win against press coverage. The running back looks like he's running a little angle route, then he just slips and falls down. But my thinking is flood on both sides of the field because 2 guys lined up in slots run deepish out routes and the 2 outside wide receivers run go routes. But this is a part of Drake May's maddening inconsistency. Watch Tez Walker. Get rid of this ball now. Drake May can make money throws, so I'm not entirely sure what's keeping him from just driving this thing. But this would be an interesting play to be a fly on the wall for, to watch UNC's offensive personnel and staff break this down in the meeting room. But yeah, Tez Walker throws up his hands in disbelief that he did not get the ball. Same quarter, same game, QB drop, pump fake, and I'll give May his props. He's a super talented runner. But do not take on reckless turnovers. I know I said I love when guys take on contact, but there's a difference between running through guys and there's a difference between avoidable turnovers. And this was 100% avoidable. He actually ends up getting decently close to the first down marker, and kudos to him for that on 3rd and 15, but this play just felt really unnecessary to me. But some other things I had to point out about his game is his accuracy is really sporadic and all over the place. He has a tendency to sail the ball all over the yard, and for those who don't like May right now and would rather a shot on Jaden Daniels, I can see why. I get it. This guy is an incredibly divisive quarterback, and I get it. I've seen him, fall from not being graded in the first round of NFL mock drafts, or at least graded. Pretty much everyone always puts him in the first round. He will go top 5 in the actual NFL draft. But a lot of people are questioning as to if he is a first round graded prospect or not. And then I see other guys on the other side of the spectrum saying that he's one of the best quarterbacks they've ever scouted. Is he a day 1 starter in the NFL? I don't know. I mean, we kind of have to evaluate that on a case-by-case basis, but I'd say he should probably sit. It reminds me of Goff with the Rams in 2016. He didn't sit the whole season. And Goff has become a bona fide, at least, plus starter in the NFL. But whether it's the incumbent starter getting injured or just sucking, and then the coaching staff getting impatient, there always seems to be a path for rookie quarterbacks to get on the field sooner rather than later. I know Baker did it a couple games in 2018, but situations are fluid, and there always seems to be something that happens that accelerates that. But again, I think the process of taking toolsy quarterbacks is pretty sound. And if you're an NFL team using a top 3 pick on Drake May, which will most likely at this point be Washington, you are going to have to convince yourself of the upside that he offers. And he does offer substantial upside. I'm not really sure what his ceiling is. I'm not going to be in an NFL front office. I'm not going to interact with him as a member of an NFL team. I'm not going to interview him at the combine. I'm not going to come face to face with him, probably ever. But if the person lines up with what you think he can be as a member of an NFL franchise and as your quarterback, then I'd feel comfortable with him being my building block as an NFL GM or coach. I understand why people like his game. I understand why others don't like his game. This will depend for GMs if they think he's a developed football mind and can reach his ceiling in the NFL, because his ceiling's out of this world. No doubt about that in my mind. But we are going to have to evaluate, or I'm not going to have to evaluate, but an NFL team is going to have to make the decision on whether or not Drake May is their franchise quarterback. And he has a pretty wide range of outcomes, but I think he can do it. I think he can do it, and I would take him second overall if I was the Washington Commanders. So that does it for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.